Light me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Would you rather have Nick Saban himself just pick the entire playoff or have like 13 people on a committee?
I'm going with
and they're
Saban,
arguing
man.
about it?
I'm going with Saban.
It's such a good, I love the idea.
Just put him in the room for an hour and say, sort it out.
Let him
Sort
come
it
out like the Pope.
Really?
Yeah, just let him come out.
Have some
White smoke. Here's the announcement.
White smoke rising from his home.
I'm serious. That's what needs to happen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
You know, there's some Mondays when it just seems like the weekend flew by. Like it was Friday and you got off work and you thought, man, I got a whole weekend ahead of me. And then poof, it's over. But
yeah, it's that time of the year.
This is one of those times for me.
It's the lazy time of the year. Everything's starting to go into holiday mode and everything's slowing down a little bit and work's not going. You're trying to get a hold of people. They're already on. They've already checked out. And, you know, it's darker early. It is unseasonably warm today.
It is.
But
it's like 60 degrees.
But it does feel like Sunday.
It does. It does feel like Sunday. But whatever energy I need, you guys right here in this room.
This is the energy.
Here we go.
This is the energy room right here.
Who needs sleep?
I mean, there's so much juice in this room.
Oh, there really is.
And you went to the UCA game in North Little Rock, called a great game, hosted a Cal show afterwards. I was listening to that. That was great radio. We'll get into it. Just ever the showman, ever the guy ready, on alert at any time. Like cold, doesn't matter. You put a mic in front of Cal, you put some people in the audience, and he's on his A game. Like, boom.
I'll tell you a little secret. That was supposed to be 2 segments, but he just kept going. And so I kind of made a command decision that we're only going to do 1 segment because a couple of the managers are, the assistants are back behind going, you're just doing 1 segment, right? Because they could tell he was about ready to go. And then he said, when he was done, he said, if you'll let me say goodnight. And I thought to myself, well, we're done. And but, yeah, it was a good night, big crowd. I mean, 15,000 plus. There were a few empties at the ends up in the corners, but that's about it. And it was, it was kind of a rainy day, and I didn't know if that would affect the crowd or not. But, man, they were there. And it was fun, and UCA did the best they could, and they've got a decent team, and I hope they win some games as we move along. But it was, it was just a good day all the way around.
To 57, never in doubt. A lot of highlights.
Just a good atmosphere. Every once in a while, particularly, everybody's been griping about, the transfer portal and what in the world's going on up there. And sometimes it's nice to have a day where, everything just goes well and everybody's glad to see everybody. And just for a little while, you enjoy the day, enjoy the game. I saw people from UCA and Conway and Little Rock that I'd not seen in a while.
I saw the photos.
I enjoyed that.
I saw them. They were on
Did you
social
really?
media. Oh, yeah. I
Really?
mean, you were in multiple photos.
I haven't seen a single
just
one.
Different
None of those people actually friend me
just
socially.
They were taking photos, and
Yeah.
I just know you were in there. And, it was an event. Hey, let's go down
Well,
there
it
and get a
was.
picture with Chuck.
It was an event kind of day.
I mean,
an
I
event
saw
kinda
one
day. It
with
was
you
fun.
and Joe Klein and Justin Acree's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hopped in. I actually photobombed that one. So you guys mind if I get in here?
Joe Klein, is all 7 feet of them.
Biggest human being I've
There's
ever seen.
like Chuck and some others are on like the risers, like sneakily. This is a me move where you look for something to stand. You look for a slightly higher ground.
Well, Joe was on the actual hardwood, and we were standing on the first row of bleachers, which was about 6-8 inches.
Yeah, which it helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a photo of me, Jalen Williams, and who else was it? Connor Vanover. Me, Jalen Williams, Connor Vanover. It looks photoshopped.
It's like Muggsy Bogues.
It looks photoshopped.
Remember that old picture with Muggsy Bogues and Manute Bol?
I was I thought it was funny at first, but then people thought it was funny for reasons that I didn't think it was funny. And I was like, why did I take the photo? A little self-deprecation. You take that step of self-deprecation and you expect people to chuckle, and instead they dig in.
It becomes a self-own. It becomes a self-own is what it boils down
It's like
to.
when you go to apologize, you're like, sweetheart, I am sorry. And then it's like, here comes the wave again.
That's right.
It's like, no, I'm saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you should be for that and that and that. Let me tell you what else you should be
nobody's
sorry
ever
for.
talking.
No good deed goes unpunished. It's Monday morning. Like, you're just going to have to go today. You're just going to have to. Today is going to
That's
be
what I
maybe
told myself.
one of those days you're just going to have to go, and you'll be glad you did. Don't let this thought of, maybe today is the day that I'm just going to have to do it. Don't do that. You're going to feel so much better this evening. Your week's going to be so much better, and you're going to go into the holidays with a bounce in your step. But if you let that little lazy creep that's coming today, it's there. Don't let it in.
Tony Robbins over here. God.
Do a one-hand push-up. Scream at yourself in the mirror. What is holding me back? Hey, you mentioned the atmosphere. Cal was talking about. He likened the atmosphere to Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, I walked out on that court, and I've been there many times. And I walked out and saw like 8,000 fans there with red. I was stunned, which tells me we need to go there every year and around Christmas. And then I walk in here and see this crowd. That's why you need to come here and, stick around and sign autographs and let the people know, yes, we care. And it was a great crowd.
Back-to-back, what I would call good vibe games for Razorback basketball. And as you pointed out, much needed for the Arkansas fan base.
I thought the win the other night in New York was a great win for our state. Now, obviously, if you're around the team, it's a great win for the players. The team needed it. I mean, and Cal needed it. They needed that type feeling that they got after beating Michigan. But I thought the state needed it, and that was a moment that kind of reminded us of when everybody was on the same page and we were pulling for the Razorbacks at the NCAA tournament, and we left work and cashed in our chips so we could go, and it just had that kind of feel again, and that's what I think people long for. And they got that, and they weren't able. Those that weren't able to go to New York, a lot of them were in North Little Rock, and so I'm not saying it's going to be that way every time. The thing that he said after the game that I kept was that every win in the SEC, whether you're at home, whether you're on the road, we're going to celebrate. I think those were his words. We're going to celebrate, and it's going to be. There are going to be a lot of teams in our league, and there are a lot of really good teams in our league that are going to have to battle like crazy, because here's the thing. Baylor and Dallas, Michigan and New York, Miami and Miami, all those big games, I'm not sure there's going to be a single one of those games that's going to be as tough as going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And then,
Lexington.
As you move on through the conference season, it's just going to
Auburn.
It's going to be crazy.
Alabama.
But I think they're going to be up to the task too.
A lot of so what I saw from those who cover college basketball all weekend was how far above the other leagues the SEC appears to be. Ooh. It's the SEC and everyone else. That's what you keep hearing. And, I ran into John Tyson the other day, who everybody knows, but obviously is, become more of a spotlight basketball figure with the Cal hiring and all that. And he had this big smile on his face, and he said, man, the games that are going to happen at Bud Walton Arena during conference play, and he just had it great. He said, it's going to be electric. Use the word electric.
It is.
It's going to be.
There's no question.
It's going to be big-time basketball. They're going to be tough games. They're going to be hard to win. You're probably going to lose some of them. But it's going to be some of the memories. I don't know how many people have experienced that many of those kinds of games at Bud Walton Arena, where it's just at a fever pitch. It's so loud in there, and it feels like big time basketball.
You said something there, and Cal kind of alluded to this after the game, that I do think it's going to be different from those days. We always knew we were going to win when the Razorbacks played at Bud Walton Arena. I mean, we always knew it. At least felt, 90% certain. And if you looked around the conference back then, even though there were some great teams that won national championships, road wins were very rare. You look at the Arkansas team, that Arkansas team that won the national championship, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they lost at Starkville by 20 that year. It was just hard to win on the road. I think the good teams in our league right now are good enough to go win on the road. I think there are many, 4 or 5 teams. I shouldn't say many, but I think there are 4 or 5 teams in the league right now that in those days could have come to Bud Walton Arena and won. Now, in those days, Arkansas would have gone to their place and won too. The Arkansas was good enough to do that. They won a lot of road games back in those days, but they lost some too. And I just think this year it's going to be a free-for-all. I think home floor is going to matter because it always does. But I think there are teams out there that are good enough to go on the road. And if you think just the home atmosphere is going to pull you through, you may be mistaken.
I want to get into what you guys did this weekend, but I see that a junior high correspondent of the Chuck and Bo Show from Mountain Home, Philip, is on the line. And I just wonder how a 12-year-old spent his weekend.
Why is he up so early?
Yeah, it's a little early, Philip. What time did you get up today?
I got up around 4.
4. What'd you do?
You
that
live on a farm? You live on a farm?
No, sir. We don't live on a farm.
Okay.
What's the 4 a.m. wake up call about?
Well, I just get ready, scavenge my fridge.
Yeah.
And then I usually I don't know, sometimes I just go outside, listen to y'all's radio. Sometimes I listen to Trey Biddy.
Okay.
Philip is 12 going on 40.
50.
Yeah.
Get up at 4 a.m. Do you have any coffee?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Milk?
Yes, sir.
Good
we
idea.
love milk.
Okay.
Plenty of sugar? Do you have some sugar cereal? Have some cereal with sugar in it?
No.
Oh,
no,
wow.
sir.
Okay.
This guy had steak and eggs for breakfast. What are you talking about?
I guess so.
Philip, what's on your mind this morning?
So I was just wondering, about Texas Tech and Arkansas in the bowl game. So yay, we made a bowl game finally. Last year wasn't the greatest season, but Daniness did not help that at all. But hey, Bobby Petrino came in, and then he really gave us the offense. Now, speaking of offense, Texas Tech has a pretty good offense. They dropped 66 on the North Texas Mean Green, and I'm starting to wonder if our defense will have a hard time stopping them. But at the same time, they also gave up 51 points to Abilene Christian in overtime. So, I don't know, maybe because that was their first game, maybe it was just like first game jitters or something. But then they also gave up like 37 points and 59 points to Baylor and Washington State. So
they're digging in on this.
Is our offense?
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk. We'll talk about it right now. Here's the good news for Arkansas. Their Texas Tech starting quarterback, Morton, is going to miss the Liberty Bowl. He's undergone elective surgery. And the bad news for Arkansas is that they have a bunch of players that were on the roster that will not be in this game. The good news is Taylon Green's not one of them. So, Chuck, if you just want to start basic, Arkansas's got its starting quarterback. Texas Tech does not in this game. Texas Tech also lost their coordinator or fired him, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, you give up 51 to Abilene Christian, that'll happen.
Yeah. So,
I think Arkansas wins the game because of the quarterback situation. I just think when you get into look, their roster's decimated just like Arkansas's is. And they're going to be playing backups and guys we've never, their people have never heard of, just like we're going to be playing guys lots of our fans have never heard of. But the difference is going to be the quarterback, in my opinion.
I wondered over the weekend. I saw Marshall's opting out of the Independence Bowl.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a team, and Army guys can't go into the transfer portal. Are they going to transfer to Navy?
So Marshall lost their coach to Southern Miss, and basically their entire team got in the transfer portal. So it makes sense for them. Is anybody else going to opt out of a bowl game?
I don't think so.
Like team-wise. And should Arkansas consider it based on, again, one of the problems with the portal is you lose guys before you can replace them. You lose them, and then you can't replace them until after bowl season.
It's the only sport, college football is the only sport in the world where players can just leave before the season ends.
Well, anybody can leave at any time.
That guy for the Niners quit the other night.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about a contract.
Well, you can't replace them.
Right.
You can't replace them. I mean, a pro goes down or quits or whatever. I mean, you sign a free agent. You sign somebody to replace him.
Or you trade for somebody. You can't trade. I mean, so anyhow, it's set the system. That's another one of the flaws where you can't replace these guys, which creates a bowl issue, which, again, until somebody tells me it's a bad idea, I'm going to go with, and I wish I could remember his name, the guy that suggested spring bowl games. So you earn your way into the Liberty Bowl this year. You play it with next year's roster at the end of spring. It makes so much sense for everyone involved. 6:17, it's Monday. Glad you're here. Good morning. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think that having Brian, allowing him to call in occasionally, is a healthy reminder of why you don't like Texas.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. You want selection? You'll find it at the Auto Park. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. We're talking 4 of the best brands on the planet. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Plus, certified pre-owned Toyotas, Hondas, Acuras, and Chevys. Why settle for anything less than the best? Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Check us out online at FayettevilleAutoPark.com. That's FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Is your hot water heater letting you down? No one likes cold showers. We want to be able to count on our hot water. That's why Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric has an offer that comes with the peace of mind I value. Get this, for just $17.76, you can get a 40 to 50 gallon water heater fully supplied and installed by their licensed and insured technicians, backed by a comprehensive warranty. For less than $2,000? Yeah, price check it. It's a deal. Just log on to GoPasco.com and don't worry about hot water anymore.
I always
I
enjoy
don't like
talking
Ole
about
Miss.
Weichert Realty and the Griffin Company.
Just
If you
Ole
followed
Miss.
my radio career, you
Yeah,
remember they
you know
were
how you're, like,
partners on the original
raised
Sports
to
Rap radio
like a
program
school.
over
Yeah.
20 years
He was,
ago.
like,
We've
raised
done
to
business
not
together
like
from an
Ole Miss.
advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it.
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, hogs.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
A lot of times critics don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I don't think they know much what they're talking about on this one either.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, bigger deal. Shaq McRoy, the huge offensive tackle, 6'8", 375, has signed with Arkansas from Oregon. He was a 4-star coming out of high school. He's only been there 1 year. Bigger story, him or Braylon Russell re-entering the transfer portal. In, out, back in. Bigger story, more talked about story this weekend. Which was it?
Braylon Russell.
This offensive,
because he's in Arkansas.
This offensive tackle, people around town, I'd run into people and they would just be like, "Do you see that guy? Do you see that guy? He was in here the other day. He's huge. He's massive." He's like one of those guys that walks around Fayetteville and everybody knows he's in town.
Casts a shadow.
He's massive. But the whole Braylon Russell thing, Bart's over there shaking his head, rolling his eyes. We have a situation.
Uh-oh.
We'll go into the situation.
Bart's got a situation.
Good morning, 6:23. It's Monday.
It's just the whole thing. I'm fed up and exhausted with the whole.
Get Bart on a
Throw
Monday.
up your hands. Throw up your hands.
Get Bart on a Monday and you get this raw feeling. It's like
first of all,
emotion.
like
talk to us,
Russell, dude. Make up your mind,
dude. Bro,
make up your mind.
Bruh.
Either be here or get the hell out.
Bruh.
Get the hell out or
what do
get
you think,
all in.
What do you think's going on there?
I mean, there are probably a number of factors, including bad influence or bad information being passed around.
Think it's money?
Clearly, he thinks he's
Yes.
going to get paid.
Yes.
Also, it made me think
definitely
Arkansas has
money.
got running backs coming in, and he's aware of that.
Well, that's one of the things that I've wondered about some of these guys that have left. Do they have a line on someone that they think is better? And when the kid asks for a certain amount of money, you feel a little more confident in saying no than maybe you would otherwise. I don't know that. I don't know that. I know they wanted to keep Braylon Russell, and but it didn't work out that way, and he's going, where he's going. The one thing that I will say, and I'm not sure, we don't know, none of us know what the long-term effects of all this new stuff's going to be, but it seems like right now Arkansas is one of those schools, and there are many others, who are going to have to rely heavily on the portal. You're going to have to replenish and, in many cases, just completely rebuild your roster every year, because here's the thing. If you're not one of these upper-tier schools that's just loaded, it's going to be awfully hard to sign a guy like, say, a Luke Hasz and keep him for 3 or 4 years. I don't know how you do it, because the price of doing business is going to go up every year. And when you are of limited resources and you pay a player like Luke Hasz to stay, it may cost you a couple of linemen, or it may cost you a defensive back, or it may cost you a linebacker. And you've got to weigh all that out, which actually makes us the better team. Here's my point. If Arkansas is going to be one of these schools that has to rely on the portal every year, it would seem to me, or at least I would wonder, would it not be best to put whatever resources you have into the acquisition of new players, as opposed to keeping the ones that you have that went 6-6? The same group of players we wondered during the season if they were good enough. Which is better? I don't know. We don't know the long-term effects yet. But it does seem to me as though Arkansas and other schools that are going to have to rely so heavily on the portal, for whatever reason, acquiring new players, it seems like is where the bulk of your money should go. And the one thing that I do wonder, and we talked back in the middle of last football season of sometimes you need to look at this like NFL teams do. They pay left tackles big money. They pay big money for all-pro guards. They pay big money for edge rushers and cover corners and quarterbacks. And maybe when I look at Arkansas's reconstruction right now, I wonder if a lot of the money they have is not going toward that offensive line. Because, look, I don't care if this guy played much or not out there at Oregon. When you're a 4-star offensive lineman and you're 6'8" and 375, you've got offers. I guarantee you that kid had offers. And evidently Arkansas's offer was the best because he decided to come here. So and part of it's wishful thinking, I will admit. But if you are going to be a portal school and you're going to put a lot of resources into acquiring new players, let's go buy the best offensive line in college football. I don't know how else to put it. If that's what it takes, then go do it.
Let's go back to Pittman when he met with the media late last week.
It just comes down to a staff decision on, are we going to be able to improve our team from 6-6 if we give this one, the amount of the money there, because they're going to get better. The kids are going to get better, but how much better than the 6-6 can we get unless we go with portal available kids? But we wouldn't have had financially the money left to go out and get what we might consider big-time difference makers had we just said yes, 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 yes. And if we had said that to every one of them, as much money as we have, we would have ran out.
I'm going to guess they think Shaq McRoy, the Oregon offensive tackle we spoke of, is one of those difference makers.
Well,
that
obviously they do.
That would be one of the examples. Do you trade some of the guys like Braxton and Haas and Kudus that have gone to Ole Miss? Do you give up what it would have cost to keep those guys to get this Oregon left tackle? That's just one example. And here's the other thing, is it only takes one team to make Arkansas say, well, we can't afford that. Like if you're Kudus, you don't have to have a bunch of offers. One school, Ole Miss, comes along and they offer you, let's just say, $150,000 more than Arkansas is going to pay you. And now you're Arkansas, and you're saying to yourself, is he really worth another $150,000? Everybody's got to make that decision. And it goes back to your point. It's so difficult to keep players. But what's not like Arkansas stars are not leaving. The best players aren't leaving for more money. Haas would be somebody I would consider to be one of those potential guys, but he didn't do that, whether it was the offensive scheme or, he just didn't have a great year, or he was hurt, whatever it was. But like, I think you can keep Taylor Green, which they are if you want to. Like, your guys you think are going to help you in the future. But these other guys that are sort of middle of the road just takes one team. Like, listen to Patrick Kudus on the Boss Hog podcast before the season.
Oh, I don't like Ole Miss. Just
Ole Miss.
Yeah, I was. You know how you're like raised to like a school?
Yeah.
It was like raised to not like Ole Miss.
Well, he's there now. And I can
money changes things.
And what it tells me is apparently nobody else was really offering him more or much more than Arkansas was. It's just reading between the lines because he went to a place he didn't want to go to because it was the one place that would pay him to do it.
See, I just think, and I don't think Arkansas is the only school in this situation right now. It is hard. If you are not one of these schools that's flush with cash, how do you avoid developing a kid for 1 or 2 years and end up having him play for somebody else? How do you avoid that? Because the pros are filled with teams who went too all in on a certain player and they didn't have any money left over for anything else and they suck. They got a great player, but the rest of the team's not good because they went all in on that guy.
You see it in Major League Baseball all the time.
See it all over the place
a star,
in sports.
Right?
That's
and then
right.
they get another team that has a bigger payroll, can pay him a ton of money.
Well, I don't know how schools like Arkansas are going to do it. I don't know how they're going to keep, for example, an in-state kid who's always wanted to play for you, and you sign him, and a year or two into it, somebody offers him money you can't offer. And how do you keep that kid? I don't know the answer to that question, and I'm not excusing losing him.
I got a thought on
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I honestly do not know what the answer is.
I got a thought on that. We'll take your thoughts, too. 877-377-6963. It's 6:32. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're in the portal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, first and foremost, congratulations on the official launch of the Chuck and Bo Show. I want to know, how did you guys decide which name went first, Chuck or Bo? Was that a flip of the coin?
This holiday season, make your moments unforgettable with a gift from Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. From brilliant diamonds to vibrant gemstones and timeless watches, Blakeman's has something for everyone on your list. Our team is here to guide you in finding the perfect piece, whether it's a token of love, appreciation, or holiday celebration. Visit us in Rogers and see why Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is Northwest Arkansas's go-to destination for gifts that shine. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye. Good morning, Smack Daddy. What's happening?
What's up, Bald Brotherhood?
There you go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16. Ace for the Elite Eight. Arkansas has won. Arkansas is going to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1995.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. 'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Gail, we got spring weddings coming up.
A lot of brides are planning their weddings for spring, and Rainwater's is ready to get them all set up, match up your colors, make all your guys look good. Come to Rainwater's, you get to try it on immediately, and you know that it fits, and we'll take care of you.
When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you.
Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
Are you looking for a Christmas gift idea for the avid angler in your life? Swing by Make Awake Bait and Tackle and let them set you up with a new Daiwa rod or reel. Make Awake has all the stocking stuffers for the angler in your life, like Strike King, Pinger Minnow, Spro Rock Crawler, the Yum Flash Mob Jr., and more. If you're not sure, let the guys at Make Awake Bait and Tackle on 803 North 11th Street next to Wicks Marine in Fort Smith set you up with a gift card. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, here to help you with your favorite angler's bait and tackle. Be sure and check out our Facebook, and Merry Christmas.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Ty Richardson here at Wheeler Power Sports as we gear up for Christmas. Simon, you're the guy to come see.
We have new inventory in stock such as the Kawasaki Mule 4010, Kawasaki KX 450 SR, KO S70, Polaris Ranger Crew XP 1000 North Star and Camo, and the Polaris Sportsman 570 Hunting Edition. Give us a call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I knew I had to show up because after Chuck does a game, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't feel like there's a world where Chuck is not showing up and also lets us know.
That's true. If I don't show up, you need to try to contact me because there's an issue.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I was thinking how it's kind of sad that because of the portal, players in some cases more often than we used to see are not going to have a home. So one of the great things about playing in college is coming back to where you played your college ball and being, I think David Basil, Joe Johnson, I mean, the list is
Joe Klein.
Joe Klein. We talked about him being a Little Rock. You have and I think that helps your environment. Like it helps, we hear about former players all the time wanting to be involved with the program. I think all that stuff's great. Guys get invited back to be honorary captains. You kind of go down memory lane at a game sometimes. Sometimes it's just nice and nostalgic. But these players now, where are they going to say they're going to be one? Like where are they going to be invited back? I mean, like, you go play at 3 different schools, you don't really have a legacy anywhere. It's like you just bounced around in your college career and you don't have any legacy. And I know sometimes we think that might be silly, but when you get a little bit older and you start thinking back on your life or where you want to go home to or who you're going to spend time with or where is family, these guys are going to play 2-3 years, 4 years of college ball, wash out in the NFL, many of them in the first year, not make a team, and they're going to look back and like, where are they? Where's their background? Where do they go back? Where do they go build? There's a lot to that. Like, we used to recruit, and probably still do. Arkansas recruits that way. You come to Arkansas. Like, remember when Malik Monk went to Kentucky? And it's like, go be at Kentucky. You're one of the $6 billion that you're a piece of that Cal's raising for NFL play or NBA players. But, like, are you going to go back and be a hero in Lexington? Like somebody that stands out? If you play here and you have a kind of career that gets you into a lottery pick situation in the NBA and you come back here, you're Ronnie Brewer. Like, people know who you are. You have opportunities. You can go build a whole other life after your career. I think we're losing that in college athletics.
You'd be surprised how many kids do that through the portal. And I've said this before. It comes from I'm glad I fill out my spotting boards by hand because I write down heights, weights, and where they're from and where they played previously. And so I remember. It's amazing in our league how many rosters are filled with home state players who began their career somewhere else. Either they weren't good enough to play for the home state school and therefore went to a smaller school, got better, ended up signing, and I'm thinking about LSU, Missouri, kind of the ones that we played toward the end. You've got players that go other places and they come home at the end because we all, I think, whether we want to admit it or not, most of us have this, we have a desire to go home. I don't care how old you are. You've got a desire to go home. And you see it. But a lot of it is through the portal. I found that very interesting over the last year or two in that players for either they had better offers to go out of state or they weren't quite good enough to play for their favorite team, and then things change and they end up coming back. And those same schools have lost players that they've spent 2 years developing, and a lot of times they go somewhere else.
Bart was talking in the break about how Ole Miss is killing it in the portal. There's a little bit of, I don't think it's irony. You tell me if it's irony or coincidence that Hunter Yurachek said what he did at the Touchdown Club about NIL at the beginning of the year. And one of the things he was explaining is how much more money Ole Miss seems to be getting in NIL. Well, now it seems like Arkansas is just the AAA team for the Ole Miss major team.
You know what I've not heard anybody say, though? Look at the players Ole Miss is losing. I've not heard one person lament all the Ole Miss players. Maybe they are.
I don't know.
But it goes back to the point. It goes back to the point I made a little bit earlier. If you are going to be an acquisition school, a school that, like Ole Miss, maybe like Arkansas, that if you're going to be good, you're going to have to do it through the portal primarily. I'm sure Ole Miss has had a ton of players leave because they had to free up that money and they had to free up scholarships. I mean, you've still got a certain limit out there. So they are in a situation where they are making hay through the portal, and obviously that's where the bulk of their resources are going. And by that I mean their portal money is going into acquiring new players, not necessarily keeping the ones they have. But I'll remind you again, if you think 9 wins is going to be enough for Lane Kiffin to keep them happy next year, no way. They thought they were going to the playoff this year. If they don't get there next year, they're going to go nuts. Now, they may, but as we've seen...
it's pretty difficult.
As we've seen, you get a locker room full of well-paid guys, ego guys. I mean, you better be able to hold that thing together.
Bart, what do you have in the situation?
All right, Bart.
What's going on over there? 877-377-6963. It's Monday morning. We're in the portal.
Looks like Ole Miss has 10 players who have entered the portal.
Okay.
So
they've lost players too.
How are you feeling about the portal in Arkansas, Bart?
Man, I hate the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
All
right. Well,
you're just going to throw it all out.
Everybody does.
I love the idea of the portal for the players. Like, yes, they should have freedom of movement and the ability to make money, but the whole system's broke. And there's no sign that it's going to get fixed at any point in the near future because nobody seems to care. But
well, we know that.
Okay.
Anyway, here's where I am with Arkansas in the portal right now. Yeah, you've lost some players. Some players you might even say are good players. Some people consider these guys good players, and that's fair, whatever your opinion is. I go back to what Sam Pittman said at his news conference last week. He mentioned it over and over again that they have money. There's no shortage of money. They've got money. They've got the ability to pay for the guys they want. When you go out and you say something like that and you repeat it over and over again, you better make sure you get a really good portal class in here, because otherwise it's just going to blow back on you. And so when you see a school like Ole Miss, regardless of whatever their record, 9-3, if they win 9 games again next year, whatever, take that off the table. They've still already signed 4 top 50 portal guys and are likely to sign 3 to 4 more top 50 portal guys.
How much money does Ole Miss have? How much money does Arkansas have? We don't know.
Right.
What Sam Pittman was trying to say is, I'm not sitting up here saying we don't have money. I'm sitting up here saying we have money, but we have to use it wisely, and it's not an infinite amount. And so, therefore, we have a budget we have to fit in. So other schools who have more, again, the easiest analogy for me is the New York Yankees versus give me a small market team. Minnesota,
Reds.
Cincinnati, okay? If Cincinnati's got a good player and the Yankees want them, they're going to go buy them. It's just that simple. So there's plenty of portal guys to go around, but here's what I think's happening. Some of the cherry picking's going on at the top. Some of the highest bidding is going on at the top, and then eventually it levels out when there's only X number of roster spots for way too many guys in the portal. There's way fewer roster spots available to where these guys want to go than there are players in the portal. Then you start getting the top of those guys. That's what will likely happen here. They're going to get a couple of stars, like they think the guy I think from Oregon's a star. We're going to see a few of those.
Yeah.
And then, but it's going to take some time for all that to sort of level out.
Yeah, I understand that. I agree with that. To what Chuck was saying earlier about Arkansas being a portal school, and we've talked about this a bit on the show, if you're going to be a portal school, you've got to be better than 37th in the portal rankings.
But it's not over.
No, that's what they were last year. That's what Arkansas was last year in the portal rankings. You've got to be better than that.
Between now and December 28th,
you've got to be better than that.
Plus the spring portal. Yeah. You're okay.
Oh, I won't disagree but I think Arkansas is in a better spot to go out and get players than they
and
were
also
a year
those
ago.
rankings are great for us to go on now, but they mean nothing once you put spot the ball, to quote Rich Rodriguez.
Sure.
877-377-6963. Chuck and Bo continues in a moment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Rick's in Fayetteville. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a privilege to talk with you guys, and I love the Razorbacks.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Did you know the CDC reports as many as 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from sleep disorders? The more severe condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and if left untreated, can increase the risk of death by 17%. It can also lead to conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, heart conditions, and stroke. If you have
Thank
sleep
you.
disorder,
Thank you.
it's
Well,
important to
what a
treat
thrill it
well.
is to
The
be
standard
here.
treatments
Dean
are
Smith
reducing
Center,
simple,
Roy Williams
emotion-free
Court.
during the night. However,
We're
there
here
are
to.
other options, and thanks to some
Can't wait to
truly
get started on the
innovative
football
and proven
program. Already,
technology provided by
got
one of
rolling
our
here
own
a few days,
Arkansas surgeons,
and
Dr. Scotty Bolden.
can't wait to
There are
represent the
alternative
school,
treatments
university
that may
out
eliminate
there.
the need to wear
Kenan
CPAP.
Stadium.
Dr.
Give the
Bolden
fans
at
something to be
Precedent
proud
Center
of.
for
We're
Facial
gonna
and
work
Dental
hard.
Medicine works
We're gonna play
carefully.
hard.
Your
I'm
sleep
looking forward to
physician
winning.
determines where the underlying obstruction may
Hand it
be
over here
and
so we can
provides
announce our
surgical
first
solutions
recruit.
that open
Please
the
welcome
airway
to Chapel
around
Hill,
the
Bryce
Call Dr.
Baker.
Bolden's office today, 479-755-3000 for a consultation, and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Scion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
How was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
The only remedy, I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there, maybe help it out a little bit.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can put up with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. See, explore,
that Miami
discover
game is a
with
big
Wheels
game
RV.
now.
Are you ready to stay
Like, you're
warm,
gonna have to
save
win
money,
that.
and be in control of your energy
No.
bills this year?
Bob, we'll be
Arkansas
fine.
Oklahoma
That's not a
Gas
big-
has you covered. We care
That
about
was a
you
big
and your
game.
energy needs. That's why
And
we
he
want to
knew
share
it.
knowledge
And
and
so
tools
was
to weatherproof
Michigan.
your
And
wallet
so
and
was
keep
this.
your
We
home
just gotta
cozy.
keep
Wondering
growing
about
as a
ways to help
team.
save on your natural gas bill? Looking for payment
The
options?
assist to
Interested in
turnovers,
simple DIY measures to
23
help save
assists,
energy?
12
We got
turns.
you. Visit AOGC.com
there was some good
winners
stuff
today
there.
and discover
And I
resources
told
and
John,
information designed to help you
the
save,
things
stay
that they're
warm, and
doing
stay informed.
and how they're playing
Colorworks
for
Painting,
that
Body,
team.
and Barling offers
we are
professional
pretty big and
automotive
long.
painting, body
They're
work,
gonna be in
and
a league.
fabrication
They're gonna
that is
make
unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
It's National Absurdity Day.
I plan on celebrating.
Well, I think we already have.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Here's one thing I was thinking a minute ago as we were talking, going into the break. What we don't know, because there's not disclosure, it's not like, the pros where you have a list of what everybody's making that's available at the ready. Did Arkansas go all in last year to keep players at the expense of going deep into the portal, and they decided that maybe that wasn't the way to go. When Pittman said during his press conference a week or so ago, if we'd paid all the money that these players were asking for, we wouldn't have had any money left to go out and get anybody new. What we don't know is, did they do that last year? I mean, we don't know. When I hear somebody say something like that, it makes me wonder, have they kind of been down that road before and decided maybe that's not the way to go? Clearly, they've made a decision this year that we're not going to say yes to everything the guys that are on our roster ask for. Because we did last year, we didn't have any money left to go out and get anybody we needed.
Well, I felt like when Pittman met with the media, it was clear that he has a plan and he's confident in his plan. We don't all know exactly what the plan is. He divulged quite a bit of it. But I feel good that they're confident with their plan. Now, is it a good one? That's part of the job right now. And we'll see how it pans out, but we got a long way to go on the transfer portal results.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
'Tis the holiday season, a special delight, with gifts all around and spirits so bright. Watch closely now, for there's one more surprise, a gift that brings comfort with joy in our eyes. The family rejoices, their excitement takes flight. With a new Pascal heated air system, they're snug every night. Give your family the gift of true comfort with over $5,100 in savings. Plus, receive a whole home duct cleaning on qualifying systems. Special financing available with no payments and no interest. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds with a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms, especially early in the day. High this afternoon, low 60s north, upper 60s south. We could see a few showers across the south early and then clearing out overnight, dropping down upper 30s north, upper 40s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hey, Todd Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations. Over 300 5-star reviews.
Yeah, Todd, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. Changing the communities we serve.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Looking to build your own field of dreams? Trust the experts at Tucker Construction and Remodeling. With over 30 years of experience, we turn blueprints into reality, ensuring top quality craftsmanship
Where are the kids?
in every project. From homes to commercial
it.
spaces, our dedicated team makes your vision come to life. Choose Tucker Construction and Remodeling, where your dreams are built to last. Call us today at 650-6453.
The Thanksgiving Day game had 5 points.
Building your field of dreams.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've been wrong before. 1978, I think.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
It's just sort of like a tie.
It's a tie game.
It just feels like
That's
a
right.
tie.
Kissing your sister.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that
Yeah,
because
let me
I'm
say
not
it
sure
for
it's
you.
allowed anymore.
I don't care.
I'm not talking about kissing your sister. I'm talking about talking about it. I'm not sure it's. I don't know.
What are you going to fire me?
Well,
you guys going to fire me?
I am no
Am
longer.
I going to be forced out? Am I going to be forced out because I said it's like kissing your sister?
I'm no longer the head of HR. We've hired Eddie from Clarksville.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you
Bo.
believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Anybody have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
I was listening to Chuck. That's how I spent my weekend. I'm
Wow.
listening to Chuck on the post game with Cal. They got a couple thousand fans there. Cal's autographing basketballs, toss them into the stands. Chuck's explaining the whole thing. Cal's talking about it all. Like I'm riveted. Like I'm locked in listening to this post game show, and I'm serious. It was good. I was learning things. At one point, I thought Chuck was back on the show with me. It was this moment.
I've been wrong before. 1978, I think it was.
Listen to the end. That's Chuck's laugh at me.
78, I think it was.
I'm over here cackling it up.
The courtesy
and,
laugh.
And Chuck's like,
the courtesy
That's
laugh.
the broadcaster's courtesy laugh right there is what that
I've been wrong
is.
before.
Here, listen for
1978, I think it was.
Yeah. That was good.
That was you.
Yeah.
I was like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
That's when I interviewed John Calipari.
Chuckle. But in the middle of it, Cal gets excited. You know, like a lot of schools, I'll like make a press release or whatever. In the middle of it, he gets excited and says,
The Thanksgiving Day game had 5.1 million viewers. We're doing it again next year. I can't tell you who it is yet.
Breaking
But
news.
it's ridiculous. It's in Chicago, so I can give you that. Start planning on being in Chicago. And that game, my guess will be 6 million will watch, which would be the highest rated game in the regular season in the last 20 years.
When's the last
He's
time?
a promoter now.
When's the last time a coach broke news like that during like a post-game interview?
The reason that is so good, and I watched it for years at Kentucky when he was there, when we'd be packing up and leaving, it makes the guy sitting in the 7th row feel like Cal's talking to him.
And he is.
He is.
He's trying to.
He says things to that group that stays that he's not going to say to anybody else. It's like he's talking to a Razorback club because essentially he is. And I think it's I think it's smart to do, number one. But I think he's a natural at it. And the people that stay really like it.
So to just set this up, we've talked about it before, and Chuck told me the day that Cal was hired, basically, like, this is one of the cool things that they do, we're going to do here. And it's after the game, Cal comes out to do his interview post-game on the radio, but he doesn't just sit down next to Chuck and do it. He stands up.
He talks to the fans. He faces the crowd.
And signs
basketballs and tosses them back and forth. And they've got someone, I should know, but I don't know, has donated a pretty good number of small, autographable mini basketballs. And he signs those and just tosses them out to various people, and then people bring basketballs.
So it's supposed to be sort of an interview with Chuck and Z post-game, but what he's really doing is talking to the crowd.
Yeah,
and
he's not. Yeah.
Chuck and Z are kind of there.
Where are the kids? I'm not. You got adults trying to get it. Where? Right. This is for you. This is for you, little girl. Little lady, here you go. There was some one girl. Hold on. Right up there. I'm going to throw it right there. Oh, I can still throw
I was
now.
going to say, you got a pretty good arm still working there, Coach.
This is the last ball.
Coach Jonas didn't miss a shot today. 6 for 6.
Seen that Mississippi State film?
Yeah, throw that ball. Yours.
Coach Jonas didn't miss a shot today. 6 for 6.
Yeah, throw that ball.
Z's like, that sounds like type A me. Like, we got to bring it back. We got to get back to the question. We got to get an answer. That's not having it.
Coach Jonas didn't miss a shot today. 6 for 6.
Yeah, throw that ball. Yours.
It's so good.
It
really is great.
I think it's
I think
arguably
it's
the best part of the broadcast.
I think it's come on. I think it's fantastic though.
I think it's really good. And
play into his strengths,
the
connecting
first time,
with people.
The first time years ago when we played at Kentucky and I watched them do that, I came back and said, we got to do this. We've got to do this. Well, here's the thing that I didn't think through was we didn't really have, you have to have a guy with a personality to pull it off. Because when you talk about doing that, however many times a season you're going to do it, you got to bring some entertainment value. You can't come out and say the same thing every time and have people, stay interested. And so it never really happened here. And I realize now that it couldn't have happened here because the only guy who can do it's Cal.
Let's hit some phone lines. Want to do
Let's
that?
do it.
Well, go ahead, Bart.
I was just going to say, who do we think the basketball opponent is? I've got it narrowed
this
down.
Week?
No, for the game that Cal's talking about. In
Chicago Thanksgiving next year.
I've got it down to 6 schools. Duke? Kansas, UNC, Duke, Gonzaga, UConn, Michigan State. It's got to be one of them.
I think it's probably from that group, yes.
Those are teams
I think that's fair
that
to
Cal
say.
has traditionally scheduled games with, coaches he's scheduled games with.
I'll
guys
bet
he
Arkansas
knows.
plays UConn fairly soon.
Wouldn't be surprising.
Haven't been, we played them in Hartford several years back. Maybe the first part of, maybe Pell's last year. I forget. But we went up there and played. But yeah, I could see that game happening.
We'll take some calls. Text.
They're going to the Garden, too. And I don't think it's going to be for the Jimmy V thing.
Or no, near Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be for the Jimmy V thing. I think it's going to be a separate deal, separate game, maybe a couple of games. Who knows?
Big city. You want to go to the big cities?
Bright lights,
Follow the
big city.
Razorback basketball
I'd like
team.
to volunteer to go.
Yeah,
next year.
you're in.
Great.
Go for it. 877-377-6963. Chuck's going as well. You can carry his bags. We'll pay for it.
That's fine.
It's Monday, December 16th, 65 in Fayetteville, where the show originates from the Hill. It's an 89% chance of rain today. So you're getting out. You might just grab the rain jacket. Just be prepared.
Grab
It's unseasonably
an
warm.
umbrella.
Yep. Get you.
It's going to get cold tonight, though. Going to get cold tonight.
Oh, what is it dropping down to tonight?
30-something. Or
30
it's either
something.
tonight or
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
No,
It's
it's
going to
all
get
over
cold.
it's
tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I believe it's tomorrow night.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Eddie's in Clarksville. Eddie, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. What's happening?
Good morning, gentlemen. You know, as I was watching, Coach Pittman's interview last week, I still don't feel confident. I understand he has a plan. The question is he going to implement that plan? Is he going to deliver? I'm not saying a home run. You say we got money. Well, why not play some of these players that were losing a little bit extra? I understand you can't pay every player what they deserve. They think they should be paid. I understand that. But, dig into your salary and pay some of these players. I'm looking at my results of my head coach. This is not an attack on Coach Pittman's character. It's about, I'll be this way without anybody leading my football program. And as a fan, I want my team to win and have better results that we're not getting in the program under the current leadership. And that's just the way any fan wants their team to win. Listen to these percentages. Are these facts true? He's 29-31 overall. He's 14-28. Is this correct in the conference? That's a combined 35.9% win percentage. And to me, our program can do better. You're saying all these players, now we lead the country and players leave going in the portal. I mean, do you think I got caught? They say the heart endures all. It certainly does.
Eddie,
Sometimes,
I got to stop you a
sometimes-
minute. Where did they lose you?
Well, sir,
you're
when they
gone.
lost
Where
to
did they
this-
lose you?
Well, sir, I've been aboard the Hall train. I said this the other day.
Well, we know that.
Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of life clock.
Yeah.
I've seen this. So you're telling me we can't have an offensive line, sir, that ranks 100 and whatever it is, not just before the portal last year hit. I mean, traditionally, since he's been the head coach at the U of A, our offensive line, you're telling me we can't at least midway 50 or 75th in the country? Is that too much to ask? I said this the other day. You know who the motor of your offense is? You would get better results if you could protect the motor of your offense, and which is your quarterback. Would you allow somebody to come in and hit the motor of your car? No, you wouldn't. And that's the way I feel about it. The offensive line never gets addressed. And how are you?
It gets addressed every time we're on the show. It's been addressed already today. Eddie, I hear what you're saying. And you make valid points. I mean, everybody that watched the games this year knows the offensive line's got to get better. I think anybody that watched the games has – I'm asking you, where did they go wrong? At what point did you leave? Because you're gone. What happened?
When did you
What happened?
lose the faith? At some point this year, it happened.
I've never been so down, sir, in a program. And then when I get down, I'm down. I've had fans call me, blow my phone up. Shouldn't the fans, I have a dream, and I just feel like that dream is getting further away. One thing I do know about life, sir, I said this. Let me say it one more time. The heart endures all. It endures good times and bad times, happy times and sad times. You've got to give something in this portal class. You better go get some players. Let me say, what will be the least next year, sir? Oh, Coach Pittman. What would be the least? What would be 5-7, 4-8? I look at that schedule next year. It's one of the most imposing schedules I've ever seen. Not only for an Arkansas football program, I've seen all the teams since Frank Bull, sir. That's one of the most imposing schedules I've ever seen any college team have. And what faith you got to start, what faith did this fan base have in this leadership? I'll tell you what, you better go out, Mark just hit it. 37th in a portal? Let me tell you something.
Last year. Eddie, here's the thing. I hear you about the offensive line. Why, when everyone says, well, the offensive line was terrible, got to be better, and then an offensive lineman or two leaves and you act like the sky's falling? Maybe they need to be replaced. I mean, maybe you need to get somebody that's better.
I'll tell you this. I go down memory lane. I was watching the pick trail. And moments in time, you talk about a player like Dan Hampton, just went into Arkansas, Hall of Fame. I'll tell you, what a player. And I look back in moments in time, and I want to get back to some good times in our program. What? It starts, number one, with beating the teams they're supposed to beat. And we're not doing that. We're beating one of them, Mississippi State.
Well, let me ask a question about that.
We're not beating Missouri.
Can somebody?
We're losing Texas A&M every year.
Well, hold on, Eddie. Can somebody? What makes you think you're supposed to beat those teams? And when's the last time Arkansas lost as the favorite?
Well, son, I tell you this. The point is, sir, we're not getting the results that I think our program
I agree with that.
They get.
I agree with
and
that.
I'm not the only one that feels that way.
No, Eddie, you're not, and we don't obviously have a problem with the way you feel. Here's my thing: is like the solution. I don't hear solutions other than fire the coach. That's all we ever hear as a solution. We never hear anything else. And then when I ask people, well, what do you want? How do you change things? How do you make it what you want? I can't get an answer. Hey, Eddie, you are laying it out. I don't think anybody would disagree with how you feel. What do you do with it? We sit around and we say, well, you should beat Ole Miss every year. The heck you should. Like, what are you talking about? Ole Miss went out and restructured their entire freaking football program. Yeah, they got a coach, but he's not the only thing they did. There's a lot of things that happened at Ole Miss. They decided they wanted to win at football, and they got all the stuff together to the point where the Arkansas AD stood up and commented on it. Like, if you want to be better as a football program, you need to look at Ole Miss, and it pissed everybody off. And he just told you the dang truth. And nobody wanted to hear it. And all you want to do is say, fire the coach. That's fine. You can fire the coach. You still have a system in a program situation you've got to figure out. And that's what Ole Miss did. 7:16, it's the Chuck and Bo Show. Woo!
Hey, good morning. Bo, it's good to hear you back on the radio, man. I missed you in the afternoons, and you guys seem to be gelling right along. So it's good to hear both of you on morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Save up to $15,000 off. The Red Tag savings are back at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Your choice. Save up to $15,000 off new Silverados or up to $15,000 off new Blazer EVs. That's how we do Red Tag savings at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Together, let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 12/2/24.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatNumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hi, I'm Truett Tollett with WT Equipment in Springfield. As the year ends, we're motivated to move inventory and meet all your equipment needs. Take advantage of year-end pricing on New Holland, Bobcat, Hustler, Steel, and more across our 8 locations in Arkansas and Louisiana. Stop by for a cup of coffee or visit us online at WTEquip.com. Thank you for your business, and we wish you a Merry Christmas, a safe New Year, and a prosperous 2025.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
So if I get offended right there, do you get offended at me for being offended?
No, I don't get offended at you for being offended, but I do think there's an issue with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you suffer from sleep apnea, you don't sleep well at night, you don't want to wear the CPAP machine, not breathing well at night causes you to lose sleep, losing sleep causes your health risk to go up. It can really increase health issues, severe health issues like heart condition, stroke, high blood pressure, obesity. Well, there is a solution beyond a CPAP. Dr. Scotty Bolding's an Arkansas native, world-renowned surgeon, and he has proven surgical alternatives to help you open your airway and breathe better. At least check it out. At least check it out. Could be a life-changing deal for you. Precedent.com. It's the Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine. Precident. Precedent.com. Breathe better, Arkansas. Hunter Yurachek told you the answer in the Little Rock Touchdown Club appearance back in, what was it, August or September?
August.
And people lost their minds, said he was blaming fans, can't believe he's asking for money. Well, that's what Ole Miss has done, and he was trying to describe what Ole Miss has done. And so if you wanted to keep some of these players, that, by the way, it's not the end of the world that are losing, depending on who they replace them with. But if you wanted to keep these guys, and you wanted to be able to overpay for guys, and you wanted to have extra money laying around so your payroll's the New York Yankees instead of the Cincinnati Reds, he gave you the formula. He gave you the answers. This is what they're doing at other programs. It's not your fault. No, it's not your fault. And you should never have to apologize. But just know, like, that's what other programs are doing. So, like, that's why some of these players are going to Ole Miss, because they did that. He gave you the answer, and you were pissed about it, And now you're pissed that he's right. Like, it's not just the coach. The coach is a part of it. But what I'd like to do is just hear what other solutions are, because they're keeping the coach.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I think people have got to get past, is that the decision on next year's been made. I mean, and I'm not picking on Eddie because I like Eddie, but the idea that your argument today is going to be they need to fire the coach, they're not firing the coach. He's coming back next year. If you're one of those who don't think that should have been the decision, all the complaining in the world is not going to change it. So, are you one of those who wants it to go to hell in a handbasket next year, so you'll get what you want ultimately, or are you one of those who want to try to find a way to win some games next year? Coach Pittman's in the twilight of his career. I think everybody knows that. I think he's, based on what he said, he's not running away from that. There's going to be at some point in the not too distant future, we've been here long enough to know it turns over. I mean, it does. And we're closing in on that at some point down the road here. But the idea that we're just going to debate now whether or not Pittman ought to still be the coach, you may not like what they've decided to do, but that decision's already been made. That decision's already been made. So either we all find a way to jump on together, or we'll go through what we went through before.
Double D's in Bentonville. Double D, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, we would be having a whole different discussion if you go back in the last 3 years and we had beaten Liberty, BYU, Auburn at home that we got beat 40-something to nothing or 3, whatever it was. One of the A&M games and 1 or 2 of the Missouri games that we lost in the last second. We would have a whole different discussion here. Well, the thing that fans are concerned about is those losses indicate that there's a problem with the coaching, and it doesn't appear that it's gotten better in the last 3 years. I'll hang up and listen.
Wait! Before you go,
what?
How would you coach it different? What are your problems with the coaching? Let me just break it down like that. You said the coaching's not good. What do you not like about it?
Well, I think that we are not fundamentally sound in certain things. I think our offensive line has been very weak in assignment. I mean, they don't seem like they know their assignments half the time. I don't know if you blame that on the kid or coaching. I mean, if it was a 1 year and off, you could blame it on the kids. But it's been a 3-year problem that we have this. We say our line was better this year than last year, but yeah, we led the nation in sacks.
Could it be?
So,
could it be that the guys lining up opposite them were better? That it wasn't a question of whether or not one got coached better than the other?
No, I disagree with you there, Chuck.
All right. No. I'm asking. I didn't say I think that's how it is. I'm asking.
No doubt. I know there's no doubt as a coach, you know that you're going to lose some physical battles. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you let A-gap runners through and nobody touches him. That's scheme. That's players doing what they're supposed to do. And so many of our sacks are A-gap, B-gap rushers that are untouched. And that's a schematic problem. Now, whether that's the players or the coaches have a bad problem, I don't know. But it's those things. You're going to get beat physically, no doubt about it. We're playing better players. But you count those plays. But
let me ask a question.
You can't have those plays and have people run through the A-gap untouched and make plays.
We're in the weeds. We could go on and on about that and calling the right protections, and they're running schemes on defense to trick you, all that stuff. But it doesn't really, whatever on that. So here you made a comment that we'd be having a whole different conversation, and you cited 5 to 7 games over the last 5 years. Yeah. So if Arkansas was winning 7-8 games consistently under Pittman, what would the conversation?
Everybody be happy.
I don't think that's true. I think
we've won 7 or 8 games around here before, and we ran the coach off.
I mean, they also beat Tennessee this year. I mean, that happened too.
I'm just saying that But,
It's hard.
if we won those games, we'd have been 8-4 every year, would we not have?
That's what I'm saying.
If we would have been.
That's what I'm
if we
saying.
would
And
have
you're
been-
still, and then you're going like, how do we get to the college football playoff from here?
Well, baloney on that. 8-4 is a great
I've
year
seen
for
it.
Arkansas.
I've been around.
Oh,
I've been
I don't
around and seen
disagree
it.
with that,
I agree. That's 8.
Hey, you make good points, Double D.
No,
Thanks
I
for your call.
appreciate the dialogue. 877-377-6963. So my point to end the last segment and begin this one was it's more than the coach. And I'm not saying that absolves the coach of any issues. I'm saying they've decided to keep the coach. And at some level, the coach matters, and at some level, the coach doesn't matter. Okay? And what I mean by that is at some point, it stops being just about the coach. And it starts being about a whole bunch of other things. We can't sit here and talk about new things that have come into college football, like the portal and NIL and rev share and all these things that have completely changed the game. We can't sit here and say that is totally reliant on the coach, period, end of story. There has to be an organizational approach to this thing that takes care of the layers I just mentioned. It's a systematic program that you have to understand how to improve across the board. And when people came out and got upset, you have the clip from Hunter back at the Touchdown Club. Here's Hunter back in August or whatever telling people the answer.
Ole Miss has about 5,000 members in their football collective. We have about 1,000. If we could get 10,000 households across the state of Arkansas to give $100 a month, we would be in the NIL game from a football perspective. But if we're really going to get a handle on this NIL and remain competitive, we need to rally people across this state.
And people didn't like that.
Well, people took that as you're saying it's our fault. We got a text a minute ago. The minute this came up, the first thing we got was a text saying, it's not the fans' fault we're not like Ole Miss. The athletic director is responsible for every aspect of success for the athletic department. We have had this attitude ever since all this NIL discussion came up, that anytime someone suggests, and first off, we've talked about Ole Miss way too damn much. I mean, we've talked about Ole Miss like they're the class of the SEC. We need to stop that. They're not. But we ever since all this came up, people have taken what Hunter said and what you've said and what I've said and what lots of people have said to mean that you're telling us it's our fault, and it's not our fault. And that's the way they've taken it. Now, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but to deny that that's the way the majority of people in our state have viewed this is foolish. You got to deal with that. It's part of it. We got to quit talking about Ole Miss so much. They are not the standard. And we got to quit acting like they are. But we've also got to get past this point of, number one, they're saying it's my fault and it's not. And number two, we've got to get past this point that it's got to be exactly like we want it, or somebody else has got to pay for it. We're expecting somebody else to pay for it. My guess would be not one single person that's called this show today, with maybe one or two exceptions, has actually contributed to Arkansas Edge. Now, I've not either, so I'm not casting stones. But what I'm saying is we expect somebody else to pay for it, and which we always do. And then we get upset because we act like Hunter's saying it's our fault, and that's not what he's saying.
Love all that. We'll take your reaction if you have one when we come back. 877-377-6963. I want to make this point about that school in Oxford. Is people have routinely said we should be beating them every year. And what I'm saying is they didn't just hire Lane Kiffin. A whole lot of other things happened there. And the other reason it's being talked about is because 3 players just transferred to there, or at least committed to. 7:33, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The holidays are all about making moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, we're here to help you find a gift as special as the people you love. From sparkling diamonds to classic watches and colorful gemstones, we have something for everyone on your list. Stop by Blakeman's in Rogers and let us help you make this holiday one to remember. Because at Blakeman's, it's more than jewelry. It's your story. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
For 5, 10, 15 seconds, stare it down and ask yourself, is this really a bracket that's going to determine the best team in college football?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your customer buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
The holiday season can be stressful. Luckily, Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor has everything you need for this time of year. Crowded homes, annoying relatives call for peppermint schnapps? Or maybe you're just a typical brown water guy. It really doesn't matter, because Eastside Liquor can take care of everything you need. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith with a convenient drive-thru. And you can call them, 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I am so in the holiday spirit after, I don't know what happened to me, Chuck's trip to New York. I've got holiday spirit now all over me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to you, too. All of you. All of you people.
Amazon.com.
Every single one of you.
Christmas shopping. You people. Christmas,
people.
Christmas shopping's never
Boy.
been. Between Amazon and Walmart apps, I'm good. But they don't, like my daughter gave me this list. She's not quite listening, if she ever does anyhow, on the way to school. She gave me this list. And she made a presentation, like did it on Canva and rolled it out. It had like a agenda. I was like, holy cow, what is this?
Got you a PowerPoint?
So I was like trying to cherry pick some of the stuff off there to buy, and I got it all in the cart, and I bought it, and I looked, and it's all coming after Christmas.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So now the money's in,
That's
and I
right.
have no players in the transfer portal, but I've spent the money.
Coupons.
So if my players are to be named later, I got to now. I've spent the money, but I got to go spend more money for things that are going to get here before Christmas.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
It's good planning.
Yeah,
That's a
it's good stuff.
situation.
Excellent planning on your part.
I'm the best. Brent's in Searcy. Merry Christmas, Brent. We've just gone this route now. It's December 16th. Brent, good morning.
You know Brent.
Yeah, he probably set the phone down to
Yeah, he was there for a moment, then he wasn't.
pick out some smoke. Nelson and Harrison. What's happening, man? Good morning.
Hey, fellas, happy morning to you there. I had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know the UCA game was what everybody wanted to see. Good to see our guys kind of getting in the rhythm there. Guys, this is my whole thing with all of the fan base and everybody sitting here. If you got an agenda, it's easy to see. If your agenda's there, it's easy to see what you got going on because you don't want to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to say, well, maybe this guys or All-Americans that we had this year, not All-Americans, all-conference players that we had this year were all transfer portal kids. None of the ones that have been here made the All-SEC honor list. So maybe you do got to change some of these people that are demanding money, demanding catches, all of this. And the thing, guys, that I really get sick and tired of is these people that say, Hunter Tiercheck didn't play this kid, or Sam Pittman didn't play this kid. Bobby Petrino and Travis Williams, I'm sure, decide who gets on the field on their side of the ball.
That is true.
I'm sure that Sam Pittman ain't saying, play this kid or else you're fired. I'm sure they know what talent they've got, and they put the guys on the field that they feel like are going to win the game or do best in the game. Guys, I want to hear your opinion on it. And there's one more thing I want to say. There was an article, SI.com, it was about Hunter Yurachek. And it said if you just had this guy as an AD and it went down a bunch of, stuff that had happened, the softball team, the soccer team, all these things doing great. Well, that was Hunter Yurachek did that too. You can't say, well, he tore up our whole program. Our program sucks. Actually, we're doing better in most sports. Just football has been mediocre. So thank you, guys.
All right, Nelson.
Having this conversation for 30 years. 877-377-6963. Yeah, I think absolutely that Bobby Petrino and T. Will have a big say in players that they're trying to get in the portal. And, people, I don't know how to bring all this together for some people, but I just tell you, I've read text comments we're getting, and they're isolated moments like this. You guys said last week you don't ask for money from fans and that most of it comes down to the big donors. Well, that hasn't changed. We're not saying anything different. I was giving you the difference between what Ole Miss and Arkansas has done, not blaming anybody, didn't even get into that. Just said Hunter gave you the answers at the Touchdown Club, and a lot of people didn't like it, and they didn't like being asked for money. And somebody else, well, Pittman says we have money, so what's the problem? Connect the dots. Just because you have money doesn't mean you have as much money as somebody else. It just means you have more than you had last year.
They do have more than they had last year, and they won't be 37th in the portal rankings this year. And as Nelson pointed out very accurately, I don't know what the portal rankings, I don't know what goes into determining whether you're 10th or 37th, but I know Arkansas got four all SEC players out of the transfer portal, and let's not act like we have 4 all SEC players every year.
I think the Edge is missing an opportunity, around Christmas. Get a player, put an ornament on your tree. I've got the offensive lineman from Oregon picture on my Christmas tree.
Hey, if they're throwing the bulk of their money into the offensive line, and I don't know if they are, but if they're throwing the bulk of their money into the offensive line, I am A-okay with that.
Steve in Hot Springs here on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, Bo. I was going to report back to you. I checked on Chuck Saturday evening after the game, and his headphones worked fine. So I was wanting to report that to you. They worked, no issues with it, Chuck. Right?
That's right. Enjoyed meeting you, Steve.
Well, I tell you what, you made my son's evening getting to talk to Chuck. He's a Special Olympian basketball player, so he was on cloud nine, got to get to see all the players.
I enjoyed meeting both of you.
That's so cool.
Well, I tell you what, my comment, I think just me as a casual fan, observer, freelance photographer, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Cal is on such a higher level. I think he's even having to educate some of the media, watching the presser and how much, just like he was talking, he brought up Trevor Brazile again on how he missed the 2 free throws, but he put his agenda, his own self aside and went down and knocked that shot away, blocked that shot in the Michigan game. More as a team player, and I think that's what he's having to even adjust the fans. There's more to this than just 25 points and 12 rebounds, and there's the team concept, I think, is what's amazing about what Cal's bringing to Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, to get those guys who have so much cachet, hype around them, future NBA draft picks, to play together and to be more than just my moment and feeling sorry for myself. He knows how to coach guys like that. Phil Jackson knew how to coach the Bulls, the Lakers. But certain guys are built for this environment that he has created. And I expect them to continue getting better. I'm just looking at the schedule now. It's wild. We'll get into some of that coming up. And some of the news of the day as we wake up and get rolling on a Monday. It's December 16th. It's warmer today, but it is raining also. So just be aware you're probably going to have some rain wherever you're listening throughout the state of Arkansas. Now, if you're listening in Taiwan, which I know people are, I did not check the weather for you. I'm sorry. It's 7:47. Good morning.
Chuck, I believe this is all your fault.
Yeah,
I believe
you. All right, thank you. And it's because he doesn't have YouTube TV for starters.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know the CDC reports as many as 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from sleep disorders? The more severe condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and if left untreated, can increase the risk of death by 17%. It can also lead to conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, and stroke. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options, and thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies, provided by one of our own Arkansas surgeons, Dr. Scotty Bolding, there are alternative treatments that may eliminate the need to wear CPAP every night. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
'Tis the holiday season, a special delight, with gifts all around and spirits so bright. Watch closely now, for there's one more surprise, a gift that brings comfort with joy in our eyes. The family rejoices, their excitement takes flight. With a new Pascal heat and air system, they're snug every night. Give your family the gift of true comfort with over $5,100 in savings. Plus, receive a whole home duct cleaning on qualifying systems. Special financing available with no payments and no interest. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
Save up to $15,000 off. The Red Tag savings are back at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Your choice. Save up to $15,000 off new Silverados or up to $15,000 off new Blazer EVs. That's how we do Red Tag savings at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Together, let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 12/2/24.
The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You know, the family that listens to the Chuck and Bo Show together stays together. That's what you got to remember.
That's great.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Brought to you in part by the Fayetteville Auto Park, Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop. Wayne is in Branson. Wayne, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas. Hey, I'm an Arkansas guy. I'm nearly 68 years old. I love my Razorbacks. I'm a season ticket holder. The answer is not to fire Sam. The athletes have got to want to execute. You can hire anybody you want to, but the athletes have got to want to be a Razorback. And I remember 64 and 69 and all those great teams, but that was a different era then. Those boys were out there because they wanted to be Razorbacks in their heart. The guys today, sadly, they're not like that, and we've just got to adapt. I don't like it either, but anybody, you can't fire the head guy every time something happens that you don't like, because you're going to be starting over again all the time. And no business, whether it's Walmart or J.B. Hunt or anybody, operates like that. And Arkansas football, whether we like it or not, fellas, has become a business. And you got to operate it like that. That's all I got.
Everything's
All right, Wayne,
a business decision right now.
Well,
It's a business.
I have to admit, I do
Standing
kind
on
of
business.
laugh a little bit when I hear a 19 or 20-year-old say, I got to make a business decision, or I got to look out for my family. Dude, you're 19. I mean, you have no idea.
Well, they've got some advice. Some of them.
Yeah.
And some of them have some good advice. Some of them
guy
have some
named Carl
bad advice.
down the street. But, you know.
I mean, but it is a portal situation that you have to figure out. And I think Arkansas will end up fine when the dancing's all done. It's musical chairs right now.
We're going to go through this. Here's the thing about it. We're going to go through this every single year.
It's the new recruiting
It is a
season.
year-by-year situation now. And this is not the last. We fast forward 5 years. We're going to be talking about this then.
Travis Hunter won the Heisman over the weekend.
I've decided that it should have gone a different way.
Chuck maybe feels a little differently
I
than
didn't
he
pay
once
attention
did.
until Saturday.
More
really.
coming up on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. You want selection? You'll find it at the Auto Park. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. We're talking 4 of the best brands on the planet. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Plus, certified pre-owned Toyotas, Hondas, Acuras, and Chevys. Why settle for anything less than the best? Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Check us out online at FayettevilleAutoPark.com. That's FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweating 'em Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatingthemcosmetic.com and click on the Sweating 'em Edge.
Does the show feel like it's always a friendly environment? I was going to say, just
I
like
guess
the
it
Chuck-
depends on which
It's
side of
friendly.
the fence you're
It's
on.
friendly. Sometimes you get yelled at, but I mean, it's still friendly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds with a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms, especially early in the day. A high this afternoon, low 60s north, upper 60s south. We could see a few showers across the south early and then clearing out overnight, dropping down upper 30s north, upper 40s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special, we have the French toast turkey melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. And if you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Are you Christmas shopping for the hunter, the fisherman, the working man, the marksman, the archer? Then get down to Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Check out all the toys for all the boys, no matter what their age. Jelco Outdoors is your locally owned store for work and the great outdoors. Jelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. This Christmas, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, hogs.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I feel a lot better
should
than
have
I
done
did
this
an
a
hour
long
ago.
time ago,
I feel
really.
a lot better than I did an hour ago.
You're a lot more enjoyable to be around. I mean, you really are. An extra hour of sleep means everything.
Your jackass meter goes way down, Bo, when you get some rest.
That's exactly
By the
right.
way, my family couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
They
I
couldn't agree
understand.
more. You're
I'm
exactly right.
Trying to do their work for them.
We're here to help each other. I appreciate that.
I can say the things maybe they can't.
Trust me, they say it.
That's funny.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
Ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
It's fun seeing pro hogs have some success.
Fake it to him this time. And they got a wide open target. It's one of the linemen. It's Skipper to the end zone for the touchdown. Dan Skipper.
So they put him at the tight end position. And after the motion, you block, and just skip out of there, Mr. Skipper. And look at this. I want to hit you. Get over here. Skipper!
What a great moment. I mean, I know they lost the game, but what a great moment.
All 6'10" of them ran it in,
Hard to
lowered
miss.
his head, and they had fun with his name. They enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Tony!
Hey, that's an example right there of what happens when you got 2 or 3 years to develop a kid, what you can do.
Oh,
now
here we
you
go.
can't.
There you go. That's right on. That is on point. 877-377-69.
But it was fun to watch him yesterday.
6'3".
It was just fun.
He, I don't, man, time flies. I don't even know when it was. I want
About
to say it was
15 or 16.
I want to say it was like 2 years ago. We did a hog pod with Dan Skipper.
Really?
Yeah, and
That
he
that
back.
actually was like 2 years.
2
ago.
years ago. Well, he was back. You remember the story? He's working in his in-laws' bakery. Like thought, maybe the league was over, and he got a call. They needed somebody, and went on the scout team. And he's been there ever since.
And now he's the starter.
He keeps playing more, and they figure out more ways to use him.
Dan Campbell loves him. And the best thing that happened for Skipper was Dan Campbell being hired as the Lions coach.
That's so true of so many guys on that team.
Holy cow.
That guy, you've said Andy Reid's an NFL, like just the consummate NFL coach. That's Dan Campbell, too. I mean,
He's
those
a
two
football
guys,
guy. He's the consummate football guy.
Knows how to relate to those guys. By the way, did you see, maybe it was last week, when he's given the post-game celebratory speech in the locker room, and Skip's throwing it up in a trash can off to the side.
Yeah. It was that kind of day.
Yeah.
Now, they did lose yesterday. I think that should be pointed out. The Buffalo Bills.
The Chiefs did not, but Mahomes got hurt.
Yeah. I think
How long will he be
this is going to be the year the Bills
sure looks like
finally get by the Chiefs.
The Eagles look pretty good, too.
Yeah, they
That was
did.
an impressive win over the Steelers. Listen to us talking like we know NFL.
Coach Cower over here.
Yeah. There's a guy that when that whole thing went down, you're like, Bill Cowher's leaving the Steelers. Okay. And here comes Mike Tomlin. And neither one of them have moved since. How long ago was that?
It's unbelievable.
How long ago?
I would have thought.
Look, Cowher's still in the same seat on the broadcast, and Tomlin's still coaching the Steelers. I mean, to me, when that happened, that was just wild.
Look,
nothing ever changed.
I was raised to hate the Pittsburgh Steelers and always will. But mad props to Mike Tomlin, because that dude is just a phenomenal coach.
He's been amazing.
Well, if you remember, I mean, for the first 5 years, Cower was on television. Every year he was going to come back. Every
That's
year
what
there
I'm
was
saying.
somebody
Yeah,
that was after
nothing
him.
ever changed.
And apparently, based on the way it's all transpired, as you say, this was his plan all along. Because if it was a bidding war, I mean, if a team wanted him bad enough, they're not going to be outbid. But I just think it became apparent that, hey, going home on Sunday night and not having people, criticize you and not having to, watch video until 4 o'clock in the morning for basically the same money, I think that appeals to him.
So Tomlin has been Pittsburgh's head coach since 2007. He then won the Super Bowl in 2008. So since 2007, he has had 0 losing seasons and only 3 seasons when they finished 500, which now with the new schedule, you can't finish 500. But he has never had a losing season in the NFL. That's remarkable.
Little tip of the cap. Who saw that coming today? A little tip of the cap. Mike Tomlin.
Wow.
There it is. Steeler fans, you're welcome. Scott in Little Rock, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Scott.
Merry
Same to you. Thank you.
Okay, and I apologize. I jumped on a little bit late this morning. If y'all could, kind of walk us back on the Braylon Russell thing, kind of the ping-ponging back and forth, and if y'all have got any sort of, kind of inside knowledge on if there was something more there, because I noticed his utilization dipped a whole bunch in the last quarter of the season, so I thought maybe there might be something there. And then what my comment today is all of this nonsense, and at this point it has become complete nonsense. I mean, what are we even doing in college football? At the end of the day, the buck stops with the fans, right? I mean, if you stop buying tickets and you stop caring and showing up, then the whole agent has to change, right? I mean, They can't sustain without reliable donators, supporters, fans showing up. Is there ever a place in college football where we can get to that point where we almost take the game back?
No.
Well, yeah, but that's like saying,
No.
movie stars make too much money, so we're going to stop watching. We want to be entertained.
So if you're saying, are we going to be, first off, by turning away and not going and not donating and not buying tickets, you're not going to take it back like that. You're going to become irrelevant. I mean, that's the cold, hard reality, and it's unpleasant. And I think sometimes when I say things like this, or you say things like this, Bo, people think we're endorsing this, right, that it's good. I'm not saying that for a second. But I'm saying that if you think you're going to turn back the clock and make it like it was 10 years ago, stop. Because you're never going to be able to pull that off. You can talk about how much better things were back then, and just so we're clear, I agree with you. I think things were better back then, but we're not going back. And
we're not only not going back, there's more eyeballs on college football, and there will continue to be, than there ever have been before. This is amazing for the product on the field and the unpredictability of it all. It's a nightmare for the people who have to deal with it and try to hold a team together. But the reality is that is the game now, and it goes to the coaching staff as their responsibility. It goes to the AD as his responsibility, and then every other facet connected to the program as it relates to money, NIL, and portal. It's an entire organization you have to figure out. It is not going back.
I don't know that you're going to be able to figure all of it out. That's the thing about it.
Well, you're just going to have to
It's going to be
navigate.
cyclical, I think, and the schools that are doing well,
But my
some of
point
them are going to vary.
Is that's part of the job. Like, we
No
can
doubt.
all gripe about it, and we can say, what in the world is going on? This is ridiculous, and it is, but that's the way it is. And I don't know how it really changes anytime soon. And by the way, it's always been like this to a certain extent. It just hasn't been as easy to do and as legal.
Well, we were talking, and I kind of said it flippantly a minute ago about Skipper. 2 or 3 years, this is what can happen when you have a player for an extended period of time and develop that player. I do not operate under the illusion that it's going to be that way again. I don't. Dan Skippers, guys like that, they're relics. I mean, well, look, case in point, Josh Braun. Josh Braun plays at, where'd he go, Florida? Couple of years there, they invested money in him, transfers to Arkansas. Arkansas invests money in him. Now he's going to finish up at Kentucky. He's going to Kentucky. We're doing backflips and going crazy and ready to just declare the sky fallen because an offensive lineman left and went to Kentucky. I mean, my point is when you go 6-6 and a bunch of players leave, that's not always bad.
You mentioned...
And I like Josh Braun, just for
understand.
the record, but he's made a business decision.
And so did Arkansas.
That's right.
They made a business decision too.
They said no.
Here's, so let me, some context
I mean,
here.
sometimes the answer in business is no.
I like the way you said that.
We like to gripe about things. We don't like to do anything about it. But it's way easier to gripe about it than to be a source of change and solutions, okay? So if you want to be a player that develops and you care about your future and how you develop more than you care about how much money you make, you actually have an opportunity to do that. And it would be interesting to have a case study, take two players of sort of the same ability, and one of them chases the money for 3 or 4 years, and the other one chases development for 3 or 4 years, and see where those two careers end up.
That's a good point.
Obviously, when you got a guy that's just uber talented, that's a different level, whatever. But if you take that 3-star or 3.5-star, and you make that kid, like, give them an extra $100,000 each year, and they go to a different program. Boom, boom, boom. They make $300,000 or whatever. This other player ends up making like $100,000 for his entire career. But he stayed somewhere 4 years. The coaching staff stayed together. He was able to develop. Where do they end up? So right now, what's happened is what's great for individual players is not all the same. And the experience and being able to come home and having a legacy at a university. Like we're so caught up in the quick cash that we've just lost sight of all that. And I'm not complaining. I'm saying, like, I like watching the games on TV. It's volatile. You don't know what's going to happen. But if you go back to what is success? What matters to you? Like, is it money? Is it having a balanced life? Is it having a family that loves you? You know, what is the most important thing?
Well, in the case of a fan, it's your team winning at whatever cost. At whatever cost.
But for the players in the game, in the development of players in the game, you can choose to go the route of I'm going to develop.
You're right. And I think the point that you made a minute ago, it would be interesting to see.
And look, some people can't afford it.
All right.
I get it. Some people have to take the money.
Nobody's going to convince me that Jalen Braxton wouldn't be a better football player today if he played all season long than he is today. Now, I know injuries had some to do with him not playing, some. But my point is these guys, they take these redshirt years and they sit, and that's a year away from developing. And I know they think they're going to be able to pick up right where they left off, and they may not even care because they're getting paid. I don't know. It is hard not to become really cynical about some of this because, first off, these kids are not as good as they think they are in many, many cases. They're not developed. They're being wildly overpaid for their actual skill level, wildly overpaid. And you got guys at 19 years old, 20 years old that are being told by, their neighbor down the street that they're all that, and they're coming in and making unrealistic demands. And the idea that we're developing them for adulthood is really kind of silly because we're not.
The market's creating that.
They don't even know how to go ask for a raise.
It only takes one school to say, "Hey, we're gonna create chaos here. We're gonna go pay somebody worth something or pay them more than they're worth," and it just creates this imbalance in the market. That's another thing. We don't have a set market, sort of like you do in the NFL, and it's a moving target. 877-377-6963. By the way. We had a caller asking about the utilization of Braylon Russell and how that has led to him either being in or not in or back in the transfer portal. I don't think playing time is the issue with Braylon Russell.
Not at all.
He was nicked up for several games towards the end of the season, so they didn't play him for that reason. I don't think they didn't play him because they didn't want to play him. The reason, without me having any direct insight, I would be shocked if Braylon Russell's not in the transfer portal because somebody told him they would pay him more money.
That's the whole deal.
That's literally it on that one. Brent in Searcy. Brent, good morning.
Good morning, Chuck and Bo.
Brent.
This is the first time I've called in to you guys since I turned 56. I had a great birthday.
Attaboy. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Well, I'm glad you've recovered.
Fantastic.
I heard things got crazy.
Things get crazy with me, Chuck, in more ways than one. I got several things I want to touch on with y'all.
Yep, carry on.
First, I want to say what a breath of fresh air Coach Calipari is for the Razorbacks. I mean, he makes the people of Arkansas feel like they're part of his team.
There you go.
And that is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. And the next thing I want to hit on is this transfer portal, and I've changed my mind 1,000 times, but I'm going to break it down to you the best way I can. Ole Miss has spent all this money on the three guys they got from us. Okay? They're in the same boat as the Arkansas Razorbacks. They did not make the championship series. Correct.
That is correct. They did not make the playoff.
And
Confirmed.
And another thing I want to say, good for Josh Braun. He and his wife have got to live in parts of the country they probably never would have been able to live in the last 3 years, and they're getting paid for it. So that's great. They're getting to check out Kentucky. They've got to check out Arkansas. Fabulous. That's great. But all I can say is the Razorbacks are going to play next September. They're going to play in the bowl game. We're going to have a roster. Look at Arizona State. They were picked last in the conference. They won the Big 12. So, and the Razorbacks are at the point where we deserve some luck during football season, by golly. We deserve some luck. And we're going to get it sooner or later. We're going to get some luck, and we're going to win lots of football games next year. That's all I have to say about
Thanks,
that.
Brent.
Y'all
Thank
have
you,
a
Brent.
great day.
Happy birthday, 56 years old. Happy birthday to Brent. Congratulations on 56 years. By the way, Rich Paul's 43 today. If you're checking celebrity birthdays, 43 years old.
He's
and
the agent, super agent.
To say, thank you. And I'd like to say, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you too. 8:18, it's the Chuck and Bo Show, December 16th. It's a Monday. It's rainy, but we're here and it's happening.
When they do that, they can hear our off-air conversations, and I always want to know whether or not anybody can hear us.
We know how you are off
I know.
air. It's something to be
I'm
aware
of that.
Yeah, it's something to be aware of.
I know.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Save up to $15,000 off. The Red Tag savings are back at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Your choice. Save up to $15,000 off new Silverados or up to $15,000 off new Blazer EVs. That's how we do Red Tag savings at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Together, let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 12/2/24.
Is your hot water heater letting you down? No one likes cold showers. We want to be able to count on our hot water. That's why Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric has an offer that comes with the peace of mind I value. Get this, for just $17.76, you can get a 40 to 50 gallon water heater fully supplied and installed by their licensed and insured technicians backed by a comprehensive warranty. For less than $2,000? Yeah, price check it. It's a deal. Just log on to gopascal.com and don't worry about hot water anymore.
We were doing everything right. We were moving the ball. We had it. We booped. Wide open, miss. Another one here, missed. I was ready to strangle myself. Like, come on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock's, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Richardson here at Wheeler Power Sports as we gear up for Christmas. Simon, you're the guy to come see.
We have new inventory in stock such as the Kawasaki Mule 4010, Kawasaki KX 450 SR, KO S70, Polaris Ranger Crew XP 1000 North Star and Camo, and the Polaris Sportsman 570 Hunting Edition. Give us a call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter.
Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996? That's nearly 30 years.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I thought more about New Mexico in the last 2 or 3 months than I have in my entire life.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart, I want you to know, I do notice the Breaking Bad music. Which one of you guys put that together? Edward, that was clever. Talking about New Mexico and having the Breaking Bad music back behind it.
Tip of the cap.
Better Call Saul, not Breaking
I'm
Bad.
sorry, but well, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
And but that
But
was
I'm glad
a nice,
you noticed and enjoyed.
It's very, very nice touch.
New Mexico
Very
did hire a
impressive.
new football coach over the weekend.
Oh, did they really?
Okay.
Really?
Billy Bob Thornton?
No, Jason Eck from Idaho.
Have you guys watched Landman, by the way?
telling you, that's
mentioned
where I
Billy
was
Bob
going.
Thornton. I watched the newest episode last night.
Listen.
I live for Sundays.
We need drops out of the Landman show. Go to episode 2 and you'll find 47
He's an
of them.
Arkansas treasure, man.
Oh, he plays that role so well.
It's great. I enjoyed it a lot.
Edward, you're looking like you've
that's okay.
have never
There's
seen
a
the
lot of
show or
shows
heard of
out
the
there,
show.
but this is the
I
one.
have no idea.
This has a lot of traction. By the way, a little
Paramount Plus.
Little heads
Paramount
up.
Plus.
Little
I've never
heads
seen
up.
it either.
This
You can
is,
sign in on both accounts. What I do.
that's right. It's coming out week to week though. So
Every
like
Sunday.
you don't know that, and you go catch up all of a sudden, and you've watched 5 episodes, and then now they've through 6, and you're like, you go to the next episode, and it's like not until next Sunday, and you're kind of upset.
Yeah.
And you gotta. We don't need.
I like to
we
binge
need upset
watch.
people.
I like to binge. I know
Who
people.
doesn't?
Darn you, traditional television and your weekly schedules.
I know people who
I
actually
know
record
people.
shows that are going on live that they want to watch, but they won't watch it live.
So they can just
because they want to go back and watch it later and fast forward through the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
I know people like
Right.
that.
Well, I mean, that's how Netflix actually came to be able to binge watch shows.
I
And
know.
It's one of the great things and great tragedies of all time.
I
because
come
it
and
has
go on
totally
these
taken our time.
I come and go.
Hijacked
on these.
our time.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when House of Cards, for example,
Oh,
first came.
yeah.
I barely slept. I mean, I barely slept. I mean, it'd be 3 o'clock
I
in the
know.
morning. One more
I agree.
episode. All right,
I
one more.
agree.
One more, and we're going to bed.
I agree.
And
Or if the show starts to get slow, like in the first 10 minutes,
well,
I'll just turn it off there.
Even House of Cards, by the end, it jumped the shark.
Yeah.
And there are shows out there that by the end, Shameless was another one. By the end, it's like I'd completely lost interest, but I loved it when it was really kind of in the heart of the show.
I got to go back to Yellowstone. I've lost touch with Yellowstone. I gotta go back. Yeah, I fell out of.
I've lost touch with
I fell out of.
I have not started
View
that.
Lock with
I have never watched
Yellowstone. Oh, it's good.
I've heard it's
Until
very
apparently
good.
it isn't.
No,
But I wanted.
I didn't get into the next season. I was going through some life change, and it was a different
I'm letting
routine.
it play out. I'm letting it play out so I can go back and binge watch over a month.
David and Cersei, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I got the coffee going, turned you guys on. I thought, well, do you need to talk to Chuck and Bo today? And I thought, nope, not a thing. I don't have a thing to say. But I cannot let this thing go with these guys that are proponents of a coaching change on the football team. Listen, if you check offensive statistics for 2024, you have to go all the way down to number 3 to find Arkansas. Number 3. Okay, well, fire Bobby Petrino. We had a bad season. Okay. Defensively, all you ask your football team to do in the SEC is give you a chance to win the football game every Saturday. That's how tough the league is. Second half against Oklahoma State, we dropped the ball, couldn't stop them. LSU physically whipped us on the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively, and we didn't do a thing in the world with Ole Miss. What we did lead the nation in was fumbles. If this team does a fumble, we are 8-4, 9-3. So what are we going to do? Fire the coaches. That beats anything I've ever heard in my life, and I'm done. Thanks for listening to me.
You know, as you were talking, I saw a story pop that Mike Norvell is reconstructing his contract, and he's given $4.5 million of his salary to NIL at Florida State.
I think that's what they made Gundy do over at Oklahoma State.
Right. Well, he had a $9.9 million salary. Maybe some of it's going to coaching staff too. But asking any coach to give up money is not going to go over real well with coaches. But I'm interested in the coaches that are doing it. And at some point, you know, nobody likes to give up their own money. This is the whole thing,
It's
right?
not a coach's job to pay for his team any more than it is a fan's job.
Well, here's the thing, though. The whole system is broken. We got here. The reason we're paying players is because we started overpaying coaches to begin with.
You're right.
That's how we got here. And again, agents are like, schools aren't running out of money. None of them are going bankrupt. And people want to win. And they want to win at a really high level. And there's lots of money attached to universities. And so this thing's not going backwards. But if you are asking fans to help pay for players and all that, it's quite a statement when you go out and you give money to, it's like a facility. Like you've seen it with facilities, like a coach and his wife or whatever will donate $2 million and they'll build a library. Or I think Saban did it when he was at Alabama. It's a way of showing like, hey, I'm in for X, will you get in? Now, look, some of it's semantics. Maybe Norvell kind of had to do that, although he was in a pretty good contract situation with a huge buyout, so maybe he didn't. Maybe he just chose to. You know, Gundy wasn't in, I don't think, the same position that Norvell's in.
He's lost his fan base down there, and he's
Yeah.
trying to get them back.
You talking about Florida State?
Yeah. I think that's part of it down there, because when you go 2-10, when you say I'm giving $4.5 million of my money to NIL, most fans are going to go, well, damn right you are.
Yeah.
It's your fault we went 2-10. Now, whether or not they're right, I don't know. But I think he was kind of in a corner down there. I'm not saying he had to, but I am saying that I'm sure a lot of coaches paid attention to what happened with Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State.
The money thing, it creates other thoughts too. Like when you're watching games, you do wonder sometimes if maybe they would pull a player if they didn't have so much invested in them. And you wonder if that factors in. And I'm not saying it does or it doesn't, but you wonder. I mean, that's just.
I don't think so much in college. It definitely does in the pros.
I mean, if you're paying a guy what some of these players are getting, you know, and you know it's a multi-million-dollar deal, and they're not playing well, as a coach, does that not have to factor in? Like, man, we got a lot invested in this guy. We need to ride this for a little. You're going to get a longer leash, at minimum, I would think.
Maybe for a little while.
8:30. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Just part of it. We'll take some calls, get some texts. We got some news to hit too. We got some headlines. It's a Monday. Things happened over the weekend. By the way, our first college football playoff game is later this week, December 16th, Monday. Good morning.
You never know what just happened to him that day. He could have accidentally dialed up an ED hotline while trying to call one of his hookers.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweating 'em Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatingthemcosmetic.com and click on the Sweating 'em Edge. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
Know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Together we stand as tall as the Tower of Old Maid. Our memories are etched in stone like names on senior walks, and our blood flows Razorback red. For 100 years we've been hog wild, and today we continue the tradition. We are Arkansas Razorbacks.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, hogs.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with Simon Wheeler. Simon, almost Christmas time. What you got for us this month?
Holiday season's here, and we have youth ATVs in stock, such as the Kawasaki KFX 50 and 90, Outlaw 70 and 110, and KO Fox 70s and Bull 110s. If you have any questions, call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I can assure you, no one organizing this trip thought, let's make sure Chuck's comfortable. I don't think that crossed their minds even for a moment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, boy. This is going to be in my head all day.
Hey, let me say one thing, too.
Love it. Please do.
Brent brought this up a minute ago about Cal. I'm glad this is happening. I think it's great. I mean, we're watching some of the best players we've ever had play here before. We're going to remember Boogie Flan. We're going to take pride in the fact that he played here. But somebody is paying for that. I mean, he's one of the highest paid coaches in college basketball, and he's got one of the highest NIL funds in college basketball. Of course he's a breath of fresh air. Yeah. I mean, of course he is.
Right.
And look, don't get me wrong. I'm glad all that's happening. I think it's great. And but understand that there is a reason why teams do well and why teams don't do well, and whether we like it or not, a lot of it has more to do with just flat out money than we care to admit. Sometimes fan bases, not ours, not just ours, if it is ours sometimes, but lots of fan bases, we act like teenagers who are mad at our parents because they're not rich, because we can't go do the same things all our friends can go do. That's just how life works sometimes. And again, I'm thrilled to death that all this is happening in basketball. I really am. But understand it is being paid for. You know, that's why it's where it is right now. And, you know, there have been coaches here before, and there will be coaches here afterwards who may not have all the things with which to work that Cal does.
And part of that is just stop and be grateful for it.
I agree.
There's part of that. That's part of it. It's not the whole thing, but part of it is enjoy that. Just be like, you know.
What I've wanted to say more than once this year is like, wow, Boogie Flan. I mean, how lucky we are to be able to sit and just watch this guy play. This guy's going to be an all-star many, many, many times over. I think he's got a chance to be one of the all-timers in terms of professional basketball. I think he's that good. I think he may be the best player we've ever had here. And we've had a lot of really good players. I think Boogie Flan may be the best. But we're only going to see him for 1 year. And then he's going to be gone. But this is going to be January, February, early March. It's going to be some of the best basketball that we've ever had at Bud Walton Arena. And I go back for all of it. I was there on opening night, and I've been there pretty much every game since. We're going to see some things in January and February in terms of big games. I mean, big games where the country's watching. This is the best basketball conference in America now, just like it's the best football conference in America now, has been for a while. These games are going to be huge. But again, understand it's being paid for by somebody else, which is what most people want. We want it to be great, but we want somebody else to pay for it.
It's the reality.
It's just the truth.
And for those that would say, well, you can get NIL money for basketball because people believe in Cal, I get it.
Well, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Would Cal have come without those financial assurances? No. That money was raised before he ever got on that plane.
So for
that money was committed before he ever said yes.
For the people that want a new football coach, is it your belief that when you get a new football coach, because you will get a new football coach at some point, like that will happen. So we'll see. But is it your belief if you get a new football coach, the same thing's going to happen? Or is it your belief that Arkansas can go out and do the Cal equivalent at football? And what I would submit to you is this is a unicorn situation with Cal. Like if you just came back from a 3-year coma and you learned that Deion Sanders is the head coach at Colorado, John Calipari is the head coach at Arkansas, and Bill Belichick is the head coach at North Carolina, you wouldn't believe any of that stuff.
No.
So I wouldn't just depend on going and getting someone like that for football. Football, and you said it's a chicken egg thing. I don't know what you lose. Like if you were holding out to give money because you don't believe in Sam Pittman. What I would submit to you is Sam Pittman's not running the program into the ground. Maybe it's not as good as you want, and maybe somebody else will come along later and it'll get better. But it does no good to hold back now, other than you just keep the money for an extra year if that's what you're going for. And nobody here should tell you how to spend your money. That's up to you. But you're not hurting the program by giving money or by getting all in now. I would argue that it's the opposite. If you get in now and you start working to sort of get all the things you need in the program to head the right direction, that's going to make it better for the next guy. It's going to make the next guy that comes in the job more attractive to the best candidate you can get. Because if you don't, and that coach is looking at you think Cal, like you said it, would Cal have come here if the NIL funds weren't there? So whenever, let's say Pittman's last year's next year, let's say they win 7 games and they shock the world against a very difficult schedule. The next guy coming in, what's he walking into? What kind of situation? He's going to be like, so what's the football support like? What's the NIL support like? That's going to be one of their first questions if you're trying to get a really good coach.
Well, there's going to have to be private commitments ahead of time. I mean, there's just going to have to be. The idea that you're going to go out and that any school is going to be able to go out and hire who they want without some kind of commitment. I guarantee you North Carolina's been at work like crazy the last couple of weeks trying to make sure that they've given Bill Belichick everything that he feels like he needs to win. That's money. That's what I'm talking about is raising money. I'm sure there have been numerous private financial commitments as far as Belichick's concerned, or he would not be there.
Carolina's certainly looking for an edge right there. And
think about this.
It does get people's attention.
The greatest coach in NFL history can't get a job in the NFL, so he's going to go coach in college. I mean, it's just never – and he's got a 24-year-old girlfriend, and he's 72. But just all of those things. I mean, it's just it's insane. It's crazy.
Hey,
that's exactly right.
Oh, man. You want to feel good? You want to feel better? You want to look good? First thing you got to do is get evaluated. You got to see where you stand. That's what you get with the Sweat 'em Edge, sweatemcosmetic.com. All about health, confidence, and peak performance coming together, just like a good game plan. We all face challenges, low energy, stubborn weight, skin health. Good news is you can do something about it. And you get to decide what that looks like after you get your evaluation back. But nobody's better and more thorough, and in my opinion, more trusted than the fine folks at Sweatenham Cosmetics. SweatenhamCosmetic.com. Log on to SweatenhamCosmetic.com. Click on the Sweatenham Edge. Take the free evaluation like Chuck and I did, and I think you'll be glad you did. 8:45. Good morning, Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Hog Country. I travel with my work, so I'm on the road a lot. So you guys are on my station.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This holiday season, give a gift that sparkles brighter than ever. A diamond from Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, premier destination for diamonds in Northwest Arkansas. At Blakeman's, we don't just help you find the perfect diamond, we guide you through the journey, teaching you everything you need to know to make the most meaningful choice. Whether it's for a proposal under the mistletoe, or a holiday anniversary, or simply a way to say I love you. Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Did you know the CDC reports as many as 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from sleep disorders? The more severe condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and if left untreated, can increase the risk of death by 17%. It can also lead to conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, and stroke. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options, and thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies provided by one of our own Arkansas surgeons, Dr. Scotty Bolding, there are alternative treatments that may eliminate the need to wear CPAP every night. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
'Tis the holiday season, a special delight, with gifts all around and spirits so bright. Watch closely now, for there's one more surprise, a gift that brings comfort with joy in our eyes. The family rejoices, their excitement takes flight. With a new Paschal heat and air system, they're snug every night. Give your family the gift of true comfort with over $5,100 in savings. Plus, receive a whole home duct cleaning on qualifying systems. Special financing available with no payments and no interest. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I'm Taylor Green, Arkansas QB, and these two guys definitely have a face for radio.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Are you ready to ride like a rock star? Then contact Luxury Limousines. Their 28-foot stretch limousines set up to 8 people. Once you're inside, enjoy superior sound, enhanced lighting, ice-cold AC, plus your own chauffeur to take you anywhere. College games, concerts, special events, and the upcoming Christmas holiday light tours. Just go to Facebook and like Luxury Limousine. Serving Fort Smith and all of Northwest Arkansas. Luxury Limousines.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all. They do it from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Is it poinsettia or poinsettia? Which is it, Bart?
Well, it's poinsettia.
Is it?
Is it foliage?
Is it foliage? Foliage?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart, do you have poinsettias out in your house? Do you have them out now?
I have one.
Have you decorated fully for Christmas?
Yeah, I have been for a while.
Okay,
yeah.
I just
Take
wondered.
some pictures.
Yeah, would you mind?
I don't think I will.
I spent the better part of Saturday decorating the tree.
Yeah, all right.
And I'm not,
all day job.
I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
And me and my daughter, and she lasted 5 minutes, and went on upstairs, and I was down there going, what is? I was breaking into a sweat.
Yeah. It's a long day when that happens.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, if you're buying or selling a home, my friends at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, are the guys to look to. You know, they've got offices all over the region, and knowing the area is important. And being able to answer the questions you have, particularly if you're a first-time home buyer, that's important as well. A relationship is important. Being able to pick up the phone and call your realtor and have him or her answer the phone or get right back to you. All of those things matter. It's the most money you're ever going to spend. What I can tell you about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, is that my experience with them is that from the very first time I bought a home years ago right up to where we are now, attentive, the line of communication was always open, and ultimately we got from contract to close. And whether you're a buyer or a seller, that's the spot you want to end up in. Now, they do have offices in Northwest Arkansas, Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson. You can always log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
Wouldn't buy a home with anyone else, Chuck. Let's go to Sterling in Center Ridge. Sterling, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Thanks, guys. And just want to echo what y'all said. I was thinking the same thing, Bo, over the weekend about Deion and Belichick and Cal being at Arkansas. And you got a 2,400-yard rusher that's not going to win the Heisman, but you also have a man that won the Heisman, the Biletnikoff, and Defensive Player of the Year. He played exclusively at cornerback on the defensive side of the ball, but somehow he didn't win the Thorpe Award. So, I mean, it's just an upside-down universe in college athletics. And like Chuck was saying, somebody's paying for it. And I want to be one of the first right here on this show to say, thank you for the basketball program.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Hunt, Tyson, and all those that we don't know the name of, thank you. And whoever helps in the future, preferably Dale Walton with the football program, I thank you in advance. Guys, y'all have a great rest of the day.
Thanks,
all right, Sterling. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You know, he mentioned that Travis Hunter. The Heisman Trophy has become a popularity contest over the years, and it's been that way for a while.
His stats don't support winning that trophy.
His story does.
Yeah, but
that's what I mean by a popularity contest.
I understand.
I mean, if Deion's not the coach at Colorado, and Travis Hunter has the same year, I don't think he wins it. I don't think they get the same attention.
That's exactly right.
If he's at Nebraska with Matt Rule right now and has the exact same season, it's not the same. The Tim Tebow story, never forget this. Darren McFadden didn't win the Heisman because Tebow went on a mission trip and had a bunch of amazing feature stories on ESPN. It's just what it is. I'm not even hating on it. I'm just saying, like, it's about a popularity contest. And Tebow was the most popular player in college football at that time. This is not about who's the best and who does the most extraordinary thing. That's just a part of it.
He was a better story. There's no doubt about that. He was an endless soundbite.
Genty, by himself, rushed for more yards than 115 teams did combined. All of everyone that ran the ball on the whole team. He outrushed them by himself.
If you're going to say Boise State is worthy of a first-round bye in the playoff,
and he's the reason,
you can't say we're going to penalize them for not playing better competition. And by the way, is the Mountain West that much inferior to the Big 12 in terms of how they play defense? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but my guess would be not much.
Oh, he would have had over 2,000 yards in the
Probably so. Probably so.
Well, we're going to try and do better tomorrow. Don't forget, you're running out of days to get Christmas shopping done. Walmart Plus, Amazon.com. Sit down. Just
get out on that app.
And then make sure the presents arrive by the 25th.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state. And you can add Flyway Brewing to the list. A craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013.